Welcome from Bartholomew and from me. It's so good to be with you. How are you doing, Bartholomew? Everything's going round and round in your head and you're feeling in a bit of a muddle. Why is that? Oh yes. He's missing his friends. You see, some of them are at school and some of them are at home and they're not all together. And oh yes, he's missing his usual school day. Everything's going round and round in his head and it feels noisy and in a jumble. It's really hard, isn't it, Bartholomew, when we feel like that? But can I ask you another question, Bartholomew? What's this that you've been doing? What is all of this? It looks a little bit like a den. Oh, it is a sort of den. It's Bartholomew's special quiet place that he's built. How did you come up with that idea? He thought about where he felt peaceful at school. Where do you feel peaceful at school? Ah, that's interesting. He likes going into the bit of garden at school where there's a bench and he likes to, look up at the sky and listen to the birds and just sit really still. And he thought it would be a good idea to make a peaceful place like that at home. Well, do you know what? I think that's such a good idea. I know that in many schools they have places like that. Often they're outside, aren't they? Like the nature trail, or maybe inside like a book corner. So to think up one of your own at home is a brilliant idea. And you've been going into it, have you? And it's helping Bartholomew feel really peaceful. And what else, Bartholomew? Calm. Oh, that's a really good word, isn't it? And a bit like you can take a deep breath. That's brilliant. Now I can see you've got all sorts of things here. Even Silver the cat seems to like your special quiet place. You've got a teddy bear. You've got a ball. You've got some felt pens. Got a very comfy cushion. You've got a book and a writing book. You've even got a little lamp. Tell me, what's all this for? This is how he likes to keep calm. He says that sometimes he comes up to his special quiet reflection den and all he does is get his pens out and draw a picture that sort of says what's going round and round in his head, and he puts it on a piece of paper and feels a lot better. That's a great idea, Bartholomew. What about this? I'm intrigued by this. What do you do with this? Sometimes you come up to your peaceful den and you feel angry or frustrated. So what do you do with the ball? You squeeze it really, really tight. Yes. And then what do you do? It's as if you squeeze all your anger and your frustration onto the ball. And then you imagine giving it all to God. What a great idea. You've come up with some brilliant ways of feeling some peace. What about the teddy bear? What do you do with the teddy bear? Sometimes Bartholomew just sits really quietly with his teddy bear, cuddling his bear, and looks at his little lamp and just thinks about God and some of those big questions about how does God look after all the world? I can imagine that must make you feel very peaceful. And I've noticed you've got a little book here. What do you do with that? Sometimes he writes down a prayer and then he puts it into his box as if he's posting it to God. That is such a good idea. Oh, there's one other thing he likes to do. Sometimes he likes to sing. Oh, yes. And sometimes he likes to read the stories in his special Bible. Do you know what? I think those ideas are so brilliant. A really good idea is to find a peaceful place, isn't it? And I can see it's really worked with you. I wonder if all the boys and girls might like to make a special quiet reflection den, just like you've made. I wonder where they'll do it. You've got a really good idea, I know. Do you know what? Jesus used to go off and he used to find quiet places to think and to pray. Like your den? Sort of. They tend to be high up mountains or beautiful, beautiful gardens. It would be a bit cold to make a quiet, peaceful den at the moment to sit in. Yeah, I think you're right. I think making a den inside our home is a better idea. I think in our bedrooms is a really good place. But you know what? Right now, there might be some boys and girls who don't have a den. Or maybe they're at school watching this. Or maybe they're just thinking about making a den. I wonder if even though they haven't got a den, we could practice some of those things that you do in your den and see if it works for them where they are right now. Shall we try? So what I think we could do is just get ourselves really comfy. Get yourself comfy, Bartholomew. That's right. And just enjoy being comfy. Sit really still. And as you sit really still, you might notice you're breathing. Just breathe gently in and out. Aren't we lucky to be able to fill our lungs with beautiful air? You might even want to close your eyes and just think about how lovely it is to be still. Maybe there's something in your head that you might want to share with God. Why don't you just enjoy this little time right now? Just enjoy the peace. And you might notice that God is with you. Take one more breath in. Breathe one out. And how was that, Bartholomew? You loved that? Oh, well, perhaps you could try it in your den next time that you go in. Thank you so much for sharing your ideas about your special, quiet, reflective prayer space. I wonder if the boys and girls might make one as well. Until next time, goodbye. Goodbye from Bartholomew. Bye.